Don't you love superheroes? There's something so magnetic about these extraordinary new age mythologies crafted especially by DC and Marvel. If you clicked here, you already know Stargirl, a badass with a lightning staff. DC's newest hero returned recently for a second season, and boy are we hooked. Supergirl is an absolute breakout. Today, we're talking about season 2 of Stargirl so far and predicting what might happen in season 3. Let's get into DC's hottest, newest universe. Season 2. Holy crap, is this good. Season 2 started with a banger and a whole lot of intrigue. Episode 1 piqued our interest with a flashback. Eclipso killed Midnight's daughter. Jerk. The drama was palpable, and we need to know more. We've known Eclipso was going to be a big part of this season, since last season's finale where Cindy found a gem with the word Eclipso on it. This dude means trouble, and I personally cannot wait to see what he does and how Stargirl will beat his booty back to the loserverse. Episode 1. Most of episode 1 mainly deals with the existential crisis of the Young Justice Society of America. They go out on patrols and try to deal justice throughout their town, but nothing is really happening. Maybe no one needs them anymore. Maybe they should at least pretend like they're regular teenagers with homework and classes. Stargirl is not convinced. She wants to beat some baddies, and she knows they like to wait for superheroes to let their guards down before striking. Well, it's not the supervillains who strike in the end. Green Lantern's daughter shows up in the middle of the night and surprise attacks Stargirl. Oops, girl, aren't you supposed to be a hero? What are you doing? That gets hashed out, but in the meantime, Cindy and Eclipso are recruiting baddies for the Injustice Society of America. Classic villain actions, lurking about and plotting. Episode 2. In episode 2, Courtney remains pretty skeptical of Jenny, aka the so-called new Green Lantern. She might be a spy for all they know, plus Stargirl didn't like getting attacked. In the meantime, everyone else welcomes Jenny to the JSA without any worries. Although Jenny doesn't seem too sure of herself. They think at first that her lantern is the source of her powers, but she's smarter than all that. She breaks the lantern and whoop, lo and behold, she becomes stronger than ever before. The episode ends on a really messed up note with Eclipso literally consuming Cindy's stepmother. What the heck, Eclipso? I don't know about you, but I am not hanging out with that dude. Episode 3. In episode 3, we get another flashback. 11 years ago, Johnny Thunder discussed Johnny's funky genie partner sidekick. So at this point, we're all thinking who in the present could be the new Thunderbolt. Enter Mike. He has some nasty bullies. What would be the first thing you would do if you got superpowers? Well, he decided to serve up some justice. Courtney, Stargirl, and Yolanda, Green Lantern, notice Mike whooping some ass and tell Pat, who lets Mike keep the pen. They then use the pen to find Shade, who they've been hunting down. After a huge confrontation, Shade slips away again. In the end, the fool Mike wishes the pen genie away. Dang it, Mike. Who gives up superpowers? But it's alright because the pen shows up at his friend Jakeem Williams' house, who, if you know the comics, is JJ Thunder. Another superhero rises. Episode 4. Cindy is back at it recruiting baddies. This time, Isaac is the one getting wooed for Injustice Unlimited. Then, Artemis complains about her trouble to her parents in prison. Rot, you losers. Well, her parents, being a great mom and dad, decide that they need to break out of prison. Yeah, we're talking about a sweet prison break. To help their daughter try out for football. Ain't nothing more American than breaking out of prison to help your daughter become a part of the high school football team. At the same time, Courtney is trying to discover more about Eclipso. She wants to know just who the heck this crystal man is. But someone interrupts. Guess who? It's Shade. No, not Shadi, the singer. Shade says they aren't trying to attack JSA, they actually want to stop Eclipso. Well, dang, Shade, that's what Stargirl wants too. Why didn't you just tell her that? In the meantime, tryouts go well with Artemis kicking some butt with her super parents' support, of course. Pat takes him back to prison, but not before some tearful goodbyes. And well, was it worth it? Artemis learns she ain't going to college. Oh no, apparently attacking Courtney wasn't a smart idea. Who do you think shows up when Artemis is at her lowest? Yep, freaking Cindy. Wanna join Injustice Unlimited, kid? In the end, Beth gets a message from the original Midnight, who is wailing for help. They've got to assemble the gang. Episode 5. Man, does this show love a flashback. 10 years ago, Cindy had a nightmare about her daddy while Dragon King watched her from afar. Oh no, girl, get out of there. Why is this dude watching everybody? Cindy's at it again. Yep, your favorite to hate tries to recruit Cameron, who's got some ice powers. Ice baby. But he's not the only one. His grandma can can show people who's boss too with kinetic freezing. Grandma Lily whoops Cindy's butt and sends her packing while she lets Cameron finish his mural. Pat and Courtney have a chat about Shade and how he might not be trying to be evil. Maybe he really is concerned about Eclipso. We'll have to wait to find out. Cindy comes knocking again at Cameron's door but is denied again. That's what I call getting shut down. Well, a woman well scorned and all that, you know? She uses Eclipso to mess up the art teacher, Paul Dysinger. Our boy ends up enveloping in a giant blob of paint. Dang, and he's an art teacher? I see what y'all did. When he gets out, it's revealed he has some psychiatric trauma. Oh no, I hope he doesn't, I don't know, become a supervillain. Then, Shade visits Barabara and tells her to tell Courtney, here's my number. He needs an ally, it seems, and Stargirl is about the best kind of ally you can hope for. Meanwhile, back in suburban Dramaland, Beth gets into it with her parents. They're having a divorce and she ain't happy. Finally, Cindy tries to recruit Cameron again, and she fails again, so her pals Artemis and Isaac come up with a plan. Cameron, while working on his mural, appears to have a hand cramp. He drops his frozen paintbrush. Uh-oh, we're in for something good in the next episode. Predictions for the end of season 2. Well, dang, this season is going by quickly. Almost every episode has ended in a cliffhanger. Tons of new heroes and villains have been introduced, and we're left wondering what's going to happen. The gun we are waiting to go off the most this season is definitely Eclipso. He is the biggest and baddest dude so far. I wouldn't be surprised if after some initial confrontations between the JSA and Injustice Unlimited, they team up to beat Eclipso once his powers go too far. It's happened before where villains and heroes team up to beat a greater evil, and in Stargirl, it's hard not to notice how much attention they pay to villains' backstories. We feel like we know villains and can empathize with them for the trauma they've suffered. It's good writing. It also makes you want to have a redemption arc. We'll probably also get to Paint Blob showing up by the end of the season. Paul Dysinger is definitely going to be evil after that crazy paint-related trauma, and he might blame Stargirl for it. Artemis's parents are probably going to break out of jail after learning their daughter isn't going to college. It'll probably bring a big rift between Pat and Stargirl. After all, if Artemis hadn't attacked Courtney, she would be going to college. Eclipso is also probably going to betray Cindy. That girl cannot control her powers, and JJ Thunder is definitely going to come through soon. We can't wait to see the Genie Thunderbolt again. Other than that, there are lots of cool fights, heroes, and supervillains coming in the next episodes. Predictions for season 3. Every series wants to up the ante after a successful season. I'm sure Stargirl is no different. I would expect they really want a high-profile villain like Mr. Freeze or the Penguin, or even the Joker himself. They could also be looking for a villain like Lex Luthor, who is ordinary, aka has no superpowers. I've always liked these villains because they make a good point. Superheroes really have no limitations, and maybe they should be equal to everyday people. Other than a new great villain, my money is on more backstory. This is a series with a rich history. They want to show how the old flows into the new, so they'll probably have more about Starman or maybe Stargirl's family. What are your predictions for the end of the season? What about the next season? We love to hear y'all's opinion.